Most N8N builders lose money on revisions. I used to do 3 rounds of changes per client until I stole this checklist from enterprise software teams. Now, my clients sign off in one shot, and honestly, the secret isn't even in the automation. Clients send projects back for 3 reasons, and none of them are about whether or not your workflow runs. First, they don't understand what it does. You built 38 nodes, and they see a maze. They can't tell if it solves their problem or just looks complicated. And if they can't explain it to their team, they'll ask you to change it. Second, they can't verify that it worked. You say the workflow ran successfully. They see no proof, no logged outputs, no test results they can check against with their own data. Without evidence, they assume that something is missing. Third, they don't know what to do when the workflow breaks. Your error handling might be solid, but if they hit an issue and have no guidance, they will panic. The revision request isn't about fixing the workflow, it's about fixing their confidence. Here's what matters. Clients judge delivery on clarity, proof, and control, not on code quality. You can build a flawless automation and still fail the delivery if you don't address these 3 problems. Each revision round costs you roughly 40% of your original build time. A 10-hour project becomes 14 hours after just 1 revision. 2 revisions push it to 18 hours. Now you're working at half your effective rate. But time is not the only cost. Revisions also kill your project pipeline. While you're fixing workflows you thought were done, the new client work stalls. You can't start the next build until you close the current one. That's delayed revenue, not just reduced margins. And here's the part that most builders miss. Revisions damage client perception. When you send a project back for changes, you're signaling that the first version was not good enough. Even if the revision is minor, the client now wonders what else you might have missed. That doubt costs you referrals and repeat work, which effectively lowers your per client earnings. I'm going to give you the checklist that I use right before we deliver projects. It helps us catch problems, show that everything works, and makes the handoff clear so that you don't lose future revenue. Phase 1, the delivery workflow audit. First, just clean up the workflow. Turn off any test or debug nodes and remove helper branches that are not part of the final build. Clients don't need to see your experiments. Next, check the trigger. Make sure it's the real production trigger and not a manual test trigger. Confirm that all schedules and time zones match the clients. Now run the workflow with real data, not fake samples. Real data breaks things, and that's kind of the point. Test every single path you have. If there are ifs or switches, force each branch to run. Break things on purpose. Disconnect APIs, send bad data, and make sure that all errors are caught and logged clearly. Finally, run the workflow a couple of times just to make sure that everything works correctly. Phase 2, the documentation package. Now the workflow works. Next, you need to explain it so that the client doesn't get confused or ask for support later on. Clients really only care about 3 things. What does it do? How do I use it? And what do I do if something breaks? So we keep it simple. First, we give them a PDF overview. This PDF is a big picture, and it's not very technical. It should include the objective of the system and what it's trying to solve, a high-level list of all the workflows involved and what each one does, any credentials that they should know about, and where error messages are sent, and who to contact if they can't fix it themselves. Keep it short and simple. 1 to 2 pages is enough. 2, a Loom video overview. Record a 5 to 10 minute Loom video walking through all the workflows and what they do at a high level. Explain the main sections, show where errors appear and what to check first, show them where they can find credentials that they might need to reconnect. And that's about it. Don't go node by node, just keep it nice and simple. If you're tired of delivery headaches and going back and forth with clients, then you've gotta join our free school community. That's where we helped automation engineers and agencies grow and scale their automation businesses. We do weekly live calls with real breakdowns and real systems. Link is down below. And number 3 is workflow breakdowns right inside of N8N. You can use N8N notes and color coding directly inside N8N to explain what each section does. Generally speaking, we'll have a node-by-node overview on the left side in one big note, and then we'll color code sections to show what each section does. This means if they ever hire another developer in the future, or if the client wants to jump in and try to fix something themselves, they understand exactly what's going on really quickly. Also, if 1 year later you have to work on the workflow again, it'll be really easy for you to understand where you left off and what to fix. Phase 3, the delivery email. Now we send the final delivery email, and this is what makes the project feel finished. Here's what you're going to include. First, let them know that the project is done. Then let them know that you tested it and give them the result that happened. Next, give them the Loom video and the PDF that we made earlier. Finally, mention any credentials or next steps that they may need to take, and also include links of how they can connect those credentials. Then offer a final offboarding call saying something like, if you want, we can hop on a quick 20-minute handoff call to double check everything and make sure it's working the way it's supposed to. And that's it. You turned in the project, but you're not done yet. The first 48 hours is when most of the issues show up. So we always like to send a 48-hour check-in. Keep it nice and simple. Just, hey, just checking to make sure everything is working the way you expected, or if there's anything that came up or any changes that you would like. That's it. No upsell, just, is it working? Next, we like to check in on our workflows every few days for the first week. We always double check for failed runs or weird outputs or anomalies in the data. If you see a problem, just fix it before the client even notices. And then finally, we'll do a 7-day check-in. And this is in the form of an offboarding call. So we'll pull the client on a call for 15 to 20 minutes, and we'll ask them again, checking in on how the workflow is working, if it's helping out their team. And at this point, we'll ask the client for a review right there on the call, so we have video proof that the client is happy. And we'll ask the client to give us 3 people that they know that might benefit from our services as well. This increases revenue for the company, and it makes you look extremely professional. If this video helped you out, then you have to watch my video on how to do job proposals correctly. That way you can set up the project for success right from the beginning. I'll see you guys next time.